it is Kylie with Grow with Kylie. Welcome back to the 31 Days of Wisdom Bible Reading Challenge in the book of Proverbs. Today we are in Proverbs 21. This scripture is amazing as always, and we're just reminded of how righteousness, following the commandments, keeping the words of God just leads to more life, more peace, more purpose, clarity, and we're called to really follow this scripture and to, stick by it no matter what, because the ways of the wicked and the ways of this world just lead to more chaos and confusion, and it's just not what we're supposed to be doing as the creation of the Lord. So before we get into the scripture today, just going to remind you guys once again to read the scripture for yourselves out of your own physical Bible. Take down your notes and meditate on those verses that are going to help you grow on your relationship and with your walk with the Lord. And let's get into the Proverbs for today. How are we going? Okay, good. Proverbs 21 verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So God is in control. He raises up kings and he brings down kings. Remember that just because there's an earthly authority, the Most High is behind it, and he's able to do as he will with whatever, with whoever is in position. Verse 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. Verse 3, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice, okay? So this is just a reminder, once again, the things that you are doing, the people that you are exalting to do, and the way that you are operating in fairness and justice is better to the Lord than sacrifice. Verse 4, and high look and a proud heart and the plowing of the wicked is sin. So a high look and a proud heart and the plowing of the wicked is sin. Also here, this is a verse that is also letting you know that just as unplowed soil produces weeds, sin will produce when you have a prideful heart, a proud heart, a high look, right? Pride is not something that is neutral. It does have an effect, and if you have a proud heart and a high look, sin produces from that. So cut down the pride. Verse 5, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. So those who are impulsive and make those decisions heat of the moment, that leads to want, but the thoughts of the diligent, the wise, the careful tend only to plenteousness. So more fruitfulness, more abundance. And that's, as we know, we're going to read about it later in verse 21, I believe, how just righteousness overall tends to more life, peace, and abundance of things. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. So the getting of treasures by lying is vain. Verse 7, the robbery of the wicked shall destroy them because they refuse to do judgment. Verse 8, the way of a man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. Verse 9, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. So once again, we hear, and we're going to hear it again, I think in the same chapter, about how, having a woman in the home, a wife that is, causing strife and arguments and division and, complaining or nagging or more of a hurt than their help. It is better for that husband or that man to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to share that space with a brawling woman. The soul of and this says in a wide house as well, so no matter how big that house gets. Verse 10, the soul of the wicked desireth evil, but his neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. Verse 11, when the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. So I remember this back in chapter 19 when I told you guys, remember how when a scorner is punished, sometimes the simple-minded and the foolish have to see those consequences, take action for them to actually change their ways. But someone who is wise, it just takes simple correction for them to, continue to do better. So the fact that this is repeated in scripture lets us know that, this is something that the Most High definitely wants us to take heed of. Verse 12, the righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. So all in all, the Lord has his eye over every home, whether it be righteous or wicked. Verse 13, whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but he shall not be heard. Verse 14, a gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. So this is how, remember when we hear scriptures about a gentle answer turned away wrath? Being generous in secret, peaceful, making peace with the person that is, in a state of anger, has in a wrathful state, it can truly be a gift unto them. So that's why, we just have to have patience, be calm and kind, and just offer that generosity to those when they're in that state of mind, because it really can pacify that anger. Verse 15, it is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. Verse 16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Verse 17, he that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. That's not saying you can't love pleasure, but it's saying those who chase it, the luxury things of this life, rather than being disciplined and wise, they shall be poor. Verse 18, the wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. So this basically means God will protect the righteous, sometimes at the expense of the wicked. So what the righteous were meant to fall into, the wicked will end up falling into. Verse 19, it is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. Follow after righteousness, it is met, and you find more life, more righteousness, and more honor. And that's why it's so important to hold fast to the words of God. Verse 22, a wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. So a wise man doesn't have to necessarily fight against a city. Through his wisdom, he's able to discern the weak points of that city, and is able to cast down the strength of the confidence thereof. So sometimes it doesn't take, physical strength. The wisdom is strength within itself. Verse 23, whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. How many times have we talked about this, y'all? Verse 24, proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Verse 26, he coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. Verse 27, the sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? So the desire of the slothful killeth him. He coveteth greedily all the day long, meaning wanting and not giving, right? Wanting but not giving. And then when he does give, right, it is given with a wicked mind and the wrong intention. It's fake, it's not real. Verse 28, a false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. So a false witness, it shall die down, because lies, they eventually are exposed. But a man that heareth, a man of wisdom, speaketh constantly, accurately, precisely, and even calmly, because the truth endures. And truth is truth. Verse 29, a wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. So a wicked man tries to put on a front, but the upright, the Most High directeth his way. And just overall, you operate in a peace and a calmness, because you're walking in truth. Verse 30, there is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. There's nothing that is greater than the wisdom and the counsel of the Lord. Nothing that can come against it and to diminish it, because it's the Most High's counsel that stands strong and is above any other wisdom or any other knowledge or understanding of this world. Verse 31, the horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. We always know we can prepare and put our things together, which we're called to at times. But safety is of the Lord. It's always the Lord behind us, helping us to succeed and prosper and protect us. So that is everything for Proverbs 21. Once again, we're just reminded the importance of righteousness and, the words of God, and how there is nothing greater than this wisdom. And if we keep and hold fast to it, we will be safe, we will prosper, and we won't be destroyed like the wicked will. So that is everything for today. I hope you guys caught on to all the warnings in the scripture and things to be mindful of. Once again, read the scripture for yourself so that you can take in those verses that you need to take in for your personal lives and situations. Thank you guys so much for being here. The comment for today will be nothing is better than the wisdom of the Lord, or nothing's better than the Most High, or no other wisdom of the world can stand with God's wisdom. So any variation of those comments, basically nothing get better than the Most High. And that's what we're going to be putting in the comment section. But thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys like, share this video out with your friends and family. Even if you only click the copy link button, that would be great. And subscribe to receive all the other wonderful videos coming out on this channel for growing your relationship with the Most High in spirit and in truth. We talk about it all, because as the Most High gives me something, I give it to you guys. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate you all. Y'all be blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.